Rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Sarah, my name is Brandon. I'll be your social worker today.
Hi.
Hi. So I heard you came in here for certain reasons. Is there anything on your mind?
Yeah, I've been really stressed. So I work full time, and I just started a full time master's program, and I don't have a lot of free time. So I was just wondering, how do I do my self care, and how do I, juggle work and school, and actually having a self identity that's separate from those things.
How many hours a week do you work at this job?
40. And actually, I switched around my schedule so that I'm working at nights mostly, and it's hard to get sleep in. So even when I do have free time, most of the time I'm exhausted, which can be tough.
How about free time? Do you ever make time for any free time or activities?
Yeah, I mean, lately it's hard to tell, but for the most part, weekend evenings, or like later today, it's Thursday, and I'm done with classes and I'm free. I don't have to work, so I have time to do things. But it's a matter of, should I be doing homework? Should I be going out and working on some of my volunteer stuff? I'm not sure how to juggle this stuff.
So what I'm seeing from this is that personal time kind of is the last priority in your list, then, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, school's very important. Work is obviously a necessity. You got to pay the bills, and then that's where I'm at a loss of what do I do with myself outside of these things now? And yeah, how do I make sure that I'm taking care of me?
Have you considered doing some kind of finding scholarships or possibly financial aid so you can take less time from work, so you take off more time from work, and then you still have the money to pay for school and everything?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've looked into. I mean, I am taking out some loans to cover my tuition, and I've looked into scholarships. None of those have panned out quite yet. Hopefully next year when I'm further into the program. And I've looked into graduate assistantships, and I've heard as a first year's master's student, I'm going up against 60 or PhD students, so that's just, it's hard. So if I had the resources, and I've looked into it, it would be great if there was something. But right now, I don't mind my job, but it's very time consuming. It is.
I can imagine so.
Yeah.
How about financial aid? Have you looked into that?
I actually don't qualify for any financial aid. I'm not sure what's up with that. I know they didn't give me anything, so I am taking out loans. But obviously I don't want to take out more than I have to, because that's a whole different issue.
Do you think that personal time or free time is important?
That's what I'm told. I mean, I haven't done a ton of it lately, but I'm thinking after a while I want to avoid being burnt out,
Have you heard of the technique where you can study for 25 minutes and take 5 minutes off until 100 minutes accumulates? Then you take 15 minutes off to kind of reset?
Interesting. I've never really thought about it that way. Is that just to avoid getting too overwhelmed?
Too overwhelmed, too burnt out.
That sounds like it could be helpful. Particularly, I always think there's something wrong with me. I'm sitting there, studying, and I'm like, why is it not going in my head anymore? So that's something that I can definitely try to use to enjoy what I'm studying a little bit more. Thanks. It's good.
Have you, how's your personal life doing?
Lately it's been okay. I do have a lot of good friendships, and they understand that maybe I can only see them once a week or a couple times a month, and they still try to make time for me even though I'm busy.
They're supportive then, right?
Yeah, they're pretty supportive, but also most of the friendships that I've had for a while, they're not in school, so they don't really understand my need to integrate. I do have a couple friends who are grad students, and we try to study together, but besides that, my friends, they want to have dinners and stuff, and I'm I don't have time to prepare for that kind of stuff. So it's been okay lately, but I feel like it might struggle in the future. Yeah.
How many hours of sleep are you getting each night?
Probably about 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
And not during the night. In the afternoon, if I'm lucky.
Little naps in between or something?
Yeah.
How about work? Will you be able to study at work? Do you have time to do that? Or?
I do, actually. That's one of the perks. I switched my hours to nights so that I could both not conflict with my daytime school schedule, but also the clientele that I work with, most of them are sleeping. Sometimes they'll wake up and they'll need something, and I'll have to talk to them, but I get a lot of reading in, which is great. That also helps so that I don't have to read as much on weekends, but I still find myself working on things that are months ahead, so I can get ahead of the curve.
How far are you ahead of the class anyways, the current classes?
I mean, I'm working on stuff that's probably due in like another month.
Hmm.
I probably won't get it done in the next week, but I'm starting so that it doesn't creep up on me.
Do you think there's anything that you can do to relieve from your stress, or is there anything that's stressing you out right now that you can focus on to alleviate the pain?
That's what I'm not sure about. See, sometimes adding more things into my life that could be stress relievers, sometimes having to manage that can be more stressful, but I recognize that it's important.